recording.
Have you done this yet?
No, you're my first one. Here we go. Welcome to the Desert Dream Sessions. We have Leena Regan with us. First off, thank you so much for being here and for being a part of my EP. I guess we'll just go through the questions, and I want to let you have a moment. What are 3 words to describe yourself?
Ooh, that's a great question. 3 words to describe myself. I have this written down somewhere.
You've asked me this question, so I was like, I gotta ask.
I know. I'm like, oh, cool. There's a recording happening, so my brain just completely stopped working.
It can be how you're feeling today in this moment.
I would describe myself in 3 words as bright, celestial, and serious.
Okay, I like those. Yeah, I like those.
At this moment in time, and then how I'm feeling right now in this moment. Grateful, excited, and grounded.
Amazing. I love those. Okay, this is a completely different kind of question next. Ready? Your go-to coffee order.
Ooh, depends on where I am because I'm a fancy bitch. So I like to get whatever is this like weird specialty at whatever place. So it could be a dirty taro latte, or it could be like a coconut cold brew, or whatever, like a lavender vanilla latte. Like, you know, the extra fancy bitch shit. That's my jam.
I love it. I mean, I do the same. I'm like, what are you known for? What was the first one? A tarot? Is that a root? Or like, you mean like tarot cards? Like
No, like the root. I think it's a root. Mark. Yeah, the little like purple.
Interesting. It makes me think of like a sweet potato yam.
Yeah, kind of.
Really?
But
okay.
It's filler and a coffee.
Amazing. TV show you're watching right now?
Ooh. I'm actually not watching anything right this moment because I just literally don't have time. However, I did recently binge Kunk on Earth. Hilarious. If you have not seen it.
Never heard of it.
On Earth. It is a like parody, like history documentary series. It's only 5 episodes.
Okay.
Technically, they're each like 30 minutes long, but they take like an hour to get through because of how much you have to pause it to laugh so you don't miss the next joke. It is truly one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And then I am patiently, okay, maybe not, maybe impatiently ready for the final season of Ted Lasso to come out here in a couple weeks.
Wait, it's the final? Oh, that's kind of sad.
I know.
I just listened to the Brené Brown interview with them.
Yeah, so good.
How did you get started in music?
Ooh, that could be a very different answer depending on how you mean you get started. When I was a little nugget, I was always super into music, and before I could speak, would try to sing along to Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You." Tap my little feet to the beat in the back of the car seat. But started voice lessons when I was 9. Started like competing and performing not long after that, so probably 10ish. And then
Hold on, competing. Explain.
Yeah. I would go around. So at most dance competitions, there is also a category for singing. And so I would go to those and I would sing and compete against other singers in my region.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just like an opportunity to just like perform, really, because there wasn't an opportunity in Iowa to perform solo as a 10-year-old.
Wait, do you have pictures of this? I want to like splice in a picture.
My mom does, for sure. They were so embarrassing because I would go like full character actress type shit, and I would be in full costume, not even looking like myself sometimes. It was great.
My gosh.
Yeah.
I know that about you.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of my other questions was like, did you always know that you wanted to do music? And something that you said, I'm going to add another question. Is what music did your parents listen to?
So to answer the first question, which is when did I know? When I was, I think like 7 years old, I saw Charlotte Church, if you remember that throwback, perform live on TV with like a full orchestra, something or other. And I went to my mom in the laundry room and looked up at her and asked her if she would support me in my dream to move to LA and become a singer. And she said yes. And my little 7-year-old ass just started bawling. I was so pumped because I didn't know she meant after I turned 18 and went to college.
Oh,
first.
wow. I mean, how
I was like ready at 7.
Like, how would your life be different if you had gone to LA when you were 7?
Oh my God. I mean, thank God I didn't. Because I probably would have like just done the whole thing that the children do out in LA, and like you get given a brand and you get given something that you fill. And then what oftentimes happens is when that brand is built outside of yourself, and you're kind of told like, oh, this is like a good idea for you, or like this is a great way to market you. Then as you get older and you start to develop your own personal identity, you might not even realize it or not, but that like dissonance of the spirit of like what you're doing in your life versus like who you truly are really breeds a lot of really difficult mental health stuff that a lot of people turn to substances or negative coping mechanisms that are really, really difficult to overcome. So I'm really thankful that I was able to figure out who I was on my own time and build my brand around my authentic self rather than go that route.
Absolutely. Good answer. Being 7 and being able to go to your home and be like, will you support me in this dream? Like, I don't think I quite articulated it like that. I was like, I want to be on the Disney Channel. How do I do that? I think like I cried when I turned 16 because I wasn't on the Disney Channel, and I'm like, how would I like been on the Disney Channel living in Evelyn, North Carolina? Like, I don't understand what the reality of like what was going through my brain in that moment. But
relatable.
What was the first song you ever wrote?
I don't know if this counts because it was freestyle, fully ad-libbed in the moment. I was 3, and there's video recording of me singing probably a 7.5-minute rendition of an original song in the moment that's just like, oh, baby, 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 won't you be mine? Yeah, baby, won't you be mine? And I just sang that for like 7 minutes with like full verses, but I was jumping around on the piano, playing it with my feet.
Wow.
Saxophone at one point. It's a journey and a half of an original song. So that technically I think would be the first song I ever wrote.
I need to find that video. Oh yeah, wait, so what did your parents listen to?
My parents were in college in probably what would have been the late 60s, early 70s. So I grew up with a lot of the music that was super popular at that time, which would have been the Beatles, and Cat Stevens, a lot of just like kind of rock, pop, singer, songwriter. We listened to a lot of James Taylor. James Taylor was my first ever concert at age 11. And I like every word to every song. So that's what they listen to. But then I have a unique situation where my siblings are way older than me as well. So what they listened to also had a huge influence on me.
Of course.
Because they were like teenagers when I was a little kid and like in their 20s. So I also listened to a proper butt ton of 90s alternative female singer-songwriters. So like Alanis Morissette, Sheryl Crow, Fiona Apple, those gals. And that had a big influence as well.
I can hear that in your music.
Yeah. I had a little bit of an Alanis obsession as a child.
So you mentioning James Taylor, actually, I don't know if you have, I'm sure you do based on the things that you remember that you've just shared, but the first song that I ever remember hearing as a child was Sweet Baby James.
Ah!
Do you remember the first song you ever remember, like, this is this person and this is a song title and it's this artist?
This probably doesn't really make any chronological sense, but I think it's because the story has been told to me so many times, but Whitney Houston's version of I Will Always Love You. Like, I think I was too little to actually, like, clock that stuff, but it was the first song I ever sang along to on the radio.
Okay. Yeah. Amazing. Louis is underneath the desk. I feel like he can sense that you're nearby. He's just standing underneath me. Do you want to say hi, buddy? Okay.
Look at that beefy boy. Hello.
Wow. Hello. Okay. You want to help me ask the next question? Okay. The weirdest job. The weirdest job that you've ever had outside of music.
I actually have never had a job outside of music.
No way. You didn't, like, have a high school job or... No?
I was a full-time musician in high school, and I was going back and forth to LA all the time. I had a band that I rehearsed with, like, every single day after school. Like,
Wow. That's a pretty unique fact.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're just like this.
I'm trying to think. Like, I also grew up in a horse, like, riding horses and, like, not working at a stable, but, like, essentially.
Okay.
So, kind of that, but it wasn't a job. It was, like, my hobby.
That makes sense. What is your favorite song you've ever written?
That's a really hard question because each song serves such a different purpose, like, in my spirit. One of them, which would be topical now, would be Electric Kid, because I feel like that is kind of the genesis of this whole journey for you and myself. And it was during a time where I had gotten a bit worn down and I was putting so much pressure on my creations that things weren't fun anymore. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop doing that for a minute and I'm gonna go over here with my best friend and write some electronic music, and I'm just like, the whole goal is just to have fun. And so we were at that time, this was like just before COVID hit, of course, we would get like little hard kombuchas around the corner and then we'd go into the studio and and we just like see what happened, and it was just like fun. And we had just gone together to Dream State because it was, I think, maybe the first time that your vocals were being played at a festival like that.
Yep. Yeah. And you had a very broken foot, and I was like, "Are you gonna be fine?" You're like, "Yeah, it's cool." Like, it's a lot of walking, I think. That was
actually magical. Forgotten about that.
That was a magical day because I don't know why. Like, I never use Waze, and I think I used Waze, and it was like, go through the mountains, and there was
like snowing.
No, there was no snow anywhere. I like just had no. I was like, where are we? Are we in a Christmas book? Like, what's happening right now?
Yeah. Like, we left a place with no snow, we went through a bunch of snow, and then we entered a place with no snow. And we're just in like hoodies. Like, it wasn't even cold.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we had just gone to that, and we decided to just like write a song about the experience because it was so damn magical and fun and connective. and we just wanted to bottle that up and put it in a song, and that's what happened. And it was just so fun, which is the reason why I love it so much. And I got to have that experience with you, like my best friend, which just makes it so much better. And I think another one for a similar reason would be Desert Dream, which is the title track of your EP. Yeah.
I don't think I've met anybody who's only ever had a job in music. What are the multiple jobs in music that you've held?
Artist, songwriter. I did a lot of interning at various things. So it would have been like working at various festivals, did internships at studios, I did internships at management companies. Then I taught college for 7 years in a music department. I've been a vocal coach, songwriting coach, business and branding coach. I own a recording studio. So like all my jobs have been very heavily music infused.
Amazing. What is the biggest risk you've taken?
I feel like presently the thing that feels the biggest is starting a company in a foreign country with my husband. That is terrifying. And just like buying a recording studio and trying to figure out how to make that sustainable. Yeah, owning a studio and deciding to like go for that and make a business out of it is probably the biggest risk I've ever taken.
That's a great answer.
Terrifying.
Well, I'm so proud of you and so happy for everything that you're doing over there.
Thanks, right back at you.
So, as both a creative and a business owner, what is your favorite part of the process?
When it comes to the music side of things, my favorite part of the process is anything that has to do with actually singing. I really love just playing around with coming up with melodies. Like that stage of the process is always so magical and fun. And then my other favorite piece of that is when it's time to arrange harmonies. That is probably my number one favorite part, doing all the background vocals and arranging harmonies to really reflect emotionally what's happening in the lyric at that time.
Well, you have a very cool harmony addition in Desert Dream. That lift right before.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I'll have to like do a little bit. How did we meet?
So this is a little bit wild, but I'm pretty sure we met on the set of my music video, right?
This is in your recollection.
Did we get coffee before that, or was that the very first time?
I thought we met at Hotel Cafe, but I could be wrong.
Were you
maybe like the same week? Probably.
Yeah, so I don't really I'm a little fuzzy, clearly, on how exactly we met, but I do remember just being so floored by the fact that you came to my music video and like we didn't really know each other, but you came anyway, and like I just thought that was so dope. And then after that we just like really hit it off and we started writing together.
We'll have to put the music video like right here. Little clip. What song made you fall in love with this genre?
Honestly, probably Every Time We Touch by Kesha.
That's what I said. Like what I said on the radio.
I mean, so get this. It was, I don't remember if it was like an Apple, like an iTunes. I think it was. On iTunes, they sold compilation albums of what they played in Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh, interesting.
And so I had one of those and that song was on it. And I listened to it like every single day before school because it was just like all these dope ass electronic songs, and Cascada's Every Time We Touch was on it.
Yeah, we were saying, because I was like, well, Brian pointed out, he was like, that song is actually hardstyle, like very European if you listen back to it.
Yeah, it is.
But pop stations played it. And that's how I heard it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I want to talk about Desert Dream. I believe, like little birdie told me, that your first experience in the desert involved bagels, a canceled hotel reservation, and maybe some red Solo cups.
Well, almost. It wasn't necessarily a canceled hotel reservation, was it? Or was it the fact that we thought we were going to camp
We did.
in Joshua Tree, and we got there and it was completely booked out? And so then we tried to camp on someone's property via like an Airbnb type thing. And we got out there and it was so windy that we literally could not pitch a tent. We couldn't get a fire going. We couldn't like open our eyes outside because the sand / dirt would just like hit you in the eyeball and scratch your cornea open. Like it was a mess. And it was us,
My desert dream,
and Jeff, and Hannah Avison, and was your sister there?
Mm-hmm.
Your sister? Was there another person, or was that it?
Jeff's cousin Matt.
There we go. And then Max, who I had just started dating, and we were like, oh, this is gonna be so fun. We're gonna go on like this trip, and it's gonna be our first trip, and we're gonna go into nature. It's gonna be so much fun. And it was torrential winds, and you guys were like, we're out. We're gonna just head over to Palm Springs and get a hotel room. This isn't gonna fly. And Max and I were like, we're gonna try to do this. We'll just camp out in the car. Like, we came here to like be out in the desert in Joshua Tree and have our first experience out here. So like we just went for it, and we literally camped out in my car, which now is our car. And yeah, just you guys left us with some bagels and some Solo cups, and I think we might have had some tequila, and that was like it.
There was also, you forgot to mention, there was like a bloody rag, and there was like a door with bullet holes in it on this like Airbnb spot.
Blocked that out, clearly. I don't remember.
Oh, they're falling in love. They're just gonna go do their thing.
No, 100%. Like, I don't remember that part at all.
Was there another visit to Joshua Tree after that, or was the next time you guys getting married?
The next time was us getting married.
No way.
Yeah.
That visit must have been transformative.
Yeah, because it was like that trip was when we both kind of realized like, oh, this person, regardless of how bad things get, or like if things don't go the way that you want to or the way that's planned, they'll still stick it out and have a good time. I think I might have known a little before that, and he might have too, I don't know, but I think it was like the moment where we're like, this is my person. When we were figuring out where we wanted to get married, it was like, oh, it'd be cool if it was in the place that we had that realization, just not with the wind and the weird other stuff, you know. So we actually got an Airbnb that time and like did it up.
And it's true, when we wrote Desert Dream over Zoom while you were in Australia and I'm in LA, and you were sharing some pictures of your wedding day. We were looking at those while we were coming up with
anything too that weekend that we were there camping out in the car as well. And you guys did your engagement shoot out there.
We did. I know. I've been going for my birthday. I went for the Run to the Forest release, and I was like, I have to go for Desert Dream.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, we went back for I think our 1 year anniversary. Yeah, I had raging influenza A. Still went.
What is your favorite lyric in Desert Dream?
I don't know. There's so much of it that I like really love. I love how we painted the picture of like the magic with the real, like the agave angels dance with desert giants, or
Granite.
Agave angels dance with giants, and just like the almost personifying or like mysticalifying like the real of like the plants and them dancing, and thinking of the mountains as like they're almost a life form in their own, because everything out there just feels so like, okay, this woo-woo warning, woo-woo, but it just feels so energized. Like every piece of being out there, even something as still and dead as a rock, like it feels like it has this like electricity to it. And so I think not necessarily that specific lyric is my favorite, but that's my favorite thing about the lyrics in general, is like really, I think we did a good job of infusing that kind of magic into what normally would be just like inanimate objects, but out there they're just not.
No, I'm looking at like, I come from the world of writing everything down, so when I write on docs I keep all of our notes, and I'm looking at some of the other lyrics that didn't make the cut, or I guess before Desert Dream we were saying, can finally breathe, I'm finally free.
Yep.
So we almost, a lyric that didn't make the cut. The cicadas start to sing like violins. You could write a whole other song with all these gems down here. Purple toes. Oh wait, no, purple sky.
I hope not purple toes. I've got some questions there.
My favorite lyric is, nothing here can quite survive without a risk.
Yeah, I also, that's almost where I went to.
So on this subject, what does Desert Dream mean to you?
I almost want to like pull up the lyrics so I can look at them.
Yeah, actually, why don't I play it? I'm gonna play it.
Hey, what's up? I'm Leena Regan, and I am the co-writer on Desert Dream.
Feel the sunrise rolling in like summer thunder. Nothing here can quite survive without a risk. See your starlit silhouette in vibrant colors. I can taste the honey hues on your lips. Don't know what's gonna alert me. Maybe it's vortex energy. Grow me within your gravity. Show me what it feels like. My desert dream. My desert dream. My desert dream. My desert dream. The agave angels dance with granite giants. You can hear the healing secrets in the wind. Distant rain is painting peaks with silver linings. If you asked me for forever, I'd commit. Don't know what's gonna alert me. Maybe it's vortex energy. Grow me within your gravity. Show me what it feels like. My desert dream. My desert dream. My desert dream. My desert
So fun. Did it sound okay? Was it kind of
No, it was good.
you're all like, it's like breaking up and you're like, okay, yeah, it's cool.
No. It was good.
Okay, cool.
I just think it's gonna be funny to watch back because we'll be on different timings.
I might be able to change that. I was thinking about that. So tell me about, like, we obviously have our own connections with the desert. Like, what does this song mean to you? And what is specifically, well, is Adelaide a desert? Is Australia a desert? What is Joshua Tree? What does the regular desert mean to you?
Yeah, so this particular song and this particular version of the desert, this desert dream, is definitely me that weekend where we went up to Joshua Tree and shit hit the fan, and Max and I stayed behind and camped out in the car and had that like just really magical time together, like realizing that like we're each other's person. And even in the lyrics, like that's very much reflected for me, where it's if you asked me for forever, I'd commit. And that's like so real. Like that was the moment where I'm like, you know what, like if this person psychotically asked me to marry them like 1 month into us dating, like I'd probably say yes, like as weird as that is. And that weekend was definitely the moment that switch flipped for me. And also just like the magic of getting to know someone, and in a place where things are really difficult. It's really difficult for things to survive in the desert, and there has to be risks taken by like every plant, every live animal out there to survive at all and thrive out there in the desert. That is kind of what it's like in life with love. It's like you've got to risk it all to have it all, and sometimes lose it all. But without taking that risk in the first place, there's like no potential for the reward at all. So I think this song in particular, and this depiction of the desert, is really a reflection of that, and the reminder to take risks, the reminder to adapt and use the resources that you have and your strengths to thrive, and to like be vulnerable and like have the courage to go for something really hard, because if it works, and I'm fully aware it doesn't always work, but if it does work, it is absolutely worth the risk. And if it doesn't, the lessons learned are worth the risk as well. So it's just kind of a reminder to just go for it in life a little bit.
100%. I love that. Absolutely. What are you most excited about this year for you? What's next?
For me, but can I be your release? I'm genuinely like so fucking pumped. Excuse my French. I'm not very good at speaking it. I'm so excited for this EP to come out, and it's just like such a culmination of all the hard work and heart that you've put in, and there's been so much along the journey that has had to happen, that you've had to overcome to get here, and I'm just so pumped for you that this is finally coming out, and I just feel so just excited that I get to be a part of it in like the small way that I am. Like it feels just so magical. So thank you.
You wrote this song that's like the name of the EP. That's no small task.
But yeah, no small task to like for that to happen. Like, I mean, we wrote the song, but we had no idea where it would end up. And the fact that it's on your project and it ends up being like the title track is pretty damn special. So that's pretty cool. And then like for me specifically, outside of this, I am finally working on my own music for the first time in like 3 years.
Amazing.
So, I lost you. Yes, I'm really looking forward to releasing my own shit for the first time in a really, really long time. And it's been really cool because I'm approaching it with such play. Like I've definitely, like I mentioned earlier in the conversation of several years back, things just started not being fun anymore because I was putting so much pressure on everything, that I started writing electronic music with you to just like break out of my, I don't know, non-fun zone, my like work zone, and just like to have fun. And I've really found the fun in things again, and I'm really using that approach in this next project, and I'm really, really hands-on in the production of this next project as well. So there's gonna be a lot of really weird shit involved that you would normally hear in a pop song. There are some crystal singing bowls.
What?
There are some like plants.
Amazing.
Like, I don't know if you've ever seen those things like online where you like hook plants up and they make like really crazy noises. Doing some of that, like just having fun with it, and I'm really excited about it.
Well, I can't wait to hear it.
Who knows what it'll turn out to be.
Oh, I'm so excited. So how can people find you online?
You can find me on the internet at Leena Regan, LEENAREGAN, pretty much on every platform. And you can also find me on Songbird Society, and in most cases it's Songbird_Society as the handle, and that is our studio where we really focus on helping independent artists create joyfully, grow continually, and connect meaningfully. So we do a lot of education, we do a lot of community building, and we also are a recording studio physically, and we work on a lot of artist development things as well, such as coaching for songwriting, business, branding, vocals, production, mixing. Like if you want to learn any of those things or level up, we got you. And then if you need a producer or you need like whatever, we've got that too. You need a place to record in Adelaide, Australia. We're gonna start to do retreats soon, so
Ooh, I love that.
want to come make music in a vineyard, come on down.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Louie's just crying back there. Okay, well, thank you so much. Sorry, my camera died. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about yourself and your process and are writing the song Desert Dream. And I guess it's tomorrow there, so you're in the future. Yeah, I think I'll stop recording now.